Alright, gang, another pedal car. As you guys, if you saw them, I kind of started going crazy with pedal tractors, trying to get one put back together just like the one I had as a kid in the 70s. So now I have 4 tractors. I also have a pedal car fire truck, which I've posted a video of, and the newest one was an instep made in China pedal fire truck. I also posted a video of that one. So a little backstory on this one. I get wind of a huge sale, yard sale that is, a couple of churches, and up over here on a big farm. And I decided, well, I'll just go out there, because thinking, you know, it was a big farm, maybe there'll be some pedal tractors, and luckily one I could get for parts. So I jumped in the truck, take off to go over there. No pedal cars or tractors of any kind. Now they had some little Tykes ones, the plastic ones. Not a fan, don't care for them. But I did pick up some other items. So on the way back home, there's a subdivision that had yard sale signs on it. It is one of those subdivisions, I guess it's one of those subdivisions to where they'll have, like, the whole neighborhood gets out once or twice a year and have yard sales. So I decided, well, I'll just swing in there because it's on the way home and I'll kill some time, see if I could find something. Well, this is what I found. Alright, gang, I'm getting over a summer cold, and here comes a car. I'm outside again, so you might hear dogs and cars and planes and trains. I live not close to the train tracks at all, but depending on how the temperature is, you know, the overcast and all that good stuff, you can hear the train very well or not at all. So, but either way, and there's an air base in the county over, and sometimes we'll get fleets of helicopters. Not often, but it's really cool to see the helicopters come over, and Goodyear blimps. I think I mentioned that in a video before. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let me stop rambling. If you watch any of my sorry, pitiful videos, I ramble, and I can't stop. So getting back to this. So I go to this neighborhood yard sale and I park my truck, and basically just started walking around until, you know, and I really wasn't having any luck at all. I mean, because some of the stuff was overpriced, some of the stuff was new stuff you could pretty much, or newer stuff that, you know, for $5 more you can go buy it brand new. So I just wasn't hitting anything until I came up on this house that had this pedal car. Now, I'm a novice when it comes to pedal cars. My brother and I split a Murray flat face, and that's the one I really want to get. And of course the AMF pedal tractors, which I now have 4 of, got to stop. I'm still looking for another one for parts, and that's going to be dangerous if we get another part when that's in good shape. But anyway, getting back to this. This car, as usual, when you go to those neighborhood yard sales, they have their driveways lined with tables and stuff sitting out on it, and the garage open. Well, I'm walking around looking, and they had some pretty interesting stuff, but nothing that was really catching my eye. And I looked over in the garage, and back there in the garage on a shelf was this pedal car. Now this couple, they were younger than I was. So I asked about the pedal car, and the guy said, you know, it was his when he was a kid. Like, years when he was a kid, it must have been passed down or something. He said no, he got it for Christmas one year, and he said he loved it. He rode it all the time, and he would leave it outside, and that's why you'll see some of the fading. Hopefully it's not going to be too glary, because it's early in the morning, and we finally got cool weather in Georgia. I'm so happy. This is a Falcon Sunday. My dogs lost pitifully Saturday against LSU, which LSU deserves it. They outplay Georgia. Anyway, rambling again. I'm not looking forward to my Falcon game either, because half their starters are going to be out or playing injured. Anyway, let's get back to the pedal car. So he's telling me that he got this when he was a kid in the 80s. So again, I'll go back and say I thought maybe it was passed down to him, because learning more and more about these pedal cars, they built them from, some of these bodies were built in the 60s and made it all the way, I know, into the 70s, but I did not know early 80s. So he's telling me the story about the little pedal car, how he loved it, and he actually said that he had the seat mat for it, but he couldn't find it. He didn't know where it was. He said it was just rolling up and all that, and his plan was to take it out and try to flatten it back out and put it back in the car, but he never got around to flattening it out, and he can't remember where he stuck it. He feared his wife may have pitched it. Good news is he found it and called me. Bad news is I think it blew out the back of my truck. Oh, it was a Bronco. Had all the glass down, and I forgot it was back there, and I can't find it. I'm hoping I still have it. I just haven't discovered it, but I will be searching for it. Anyway, I buy it from him, and he said he didn't think about selling it. Nobody else has asked about it. He didn't think anybody was interested in it. So $50. Oh, well, you're gonna pass it up? Because I mean, look at it. How could you pass this thing up? The yellow and orange, the yellow letters on the wheels, and the red hubcaps. Man, that is just so ugly it works. I love this little pedal car. Now, if I put it side by side to the AMF fire truck, this is an AMF Sport GT, but I put it side by side to the fire truck, it's smaller. So I'm not sure the weight limits or the year, the age limits on this, or let me say recommendation. But it's not beat up, it's faded, it's got play wear, and it's in really good shape. Alright, so we're looking at the roadside, and the decal says AMF on it, and look at that wheel. That is awesome. Totally awesome. And there's the Sport GT and the back wheel. Now the wheels do show wear, and it's okay because that's what it's meant for, to be played with. And you see, see how the top is like faded a lot, but the sides are still pretty vibrant. And from this view, excuse me, because I'm struggling with a telling of a cold. From this viewpoint, it kind of looks like a two-tone yellow, but it's not. It's all yellow. Now, not only was it the color that attracted me to this, but the front end, it struck a major memory for me. Back in the 60s and 70s, a lot of you people aren't going to remember this if you're younger, but there used to be a car company called AMC. They were the ones that owned Jeep, who is now a glorified highway vehicle. Boy, Willis would be crazy rolling into the grave if he saw what happened to the Jeep. Family way. Anyway, stop it. So let me get back to my AMC side here. My dad and mom. My dad made sure my mom always had a decent car. Usually he had a couple of work trucks, they had a station wagon. We grew up in cars like a Lincoln Continental with suicide doors. So my dad just loved those cars. And this was in the 70s when those cars were plentiful. I don't remember the year, so you AMC fanatics, you would probably remember the year they came out with the AMC Rambler, which they called a Scrambler, which was, if you guys don't know what an AMC Scrambler is, take a moment and look it up. They were awesome cars. Paint schemes, the big engines, they were just something to see. But this, don't ask me why, but this front end just brought back that memory of that AMC Rambler my parents had. It was white with blue interior, and two-door, and my dad said it had a V8 in it, and I want to say that was all it was. It was a stripped AMC Rambler that he bought as a backup car, and that thing, I can remember my dad doing burnouts in it, and it would downright fly. I don't remember if it was automatic or straight shift, If it was a straight shift, it had to be 3 on a tree. But again, I was a kid, little kid, I don't recall. But we went everywhere in that little car because it was just a powerful little car. It's fun. Oh man, it's starting to sprinkle. So anyway, when I saw that, I saw this front end, I immediately thought of that AMC Rambler my parents had. Alright, here's the roadside. Missing a hubcap. This is how I got it. He also, the guy I got it from, he also said he thought he had another hubcap, but it wasn't a red one, it was a chrome one that he had picked up somewhere, and he didn't know where it was at either. He never found that. Like I said, he found a mat for the seat. I may have lost it again. Gosh, I hope it turns up. If not, oh well. But again, no damage. There's no dings or dents, just scratches and lots of playwear. But man, this is a good looking little car. So I'm gonna walk up to it and show you. Like if you watched the fire truck video, this car's got the same issues. It's got cracks around the screw that holds the rear axle. I don't think I mentioned that those screws held the rear axle. And there's the screw for the mat and the pieces. I don't know if this was factory, but the pieces of Velcro that may have been put in at a later date because they're not cut the same lengths. That's why I'm thinking that it just got, at some time or another, it kept pulling up, so they Velcroed it in. There's no Velcro on the back of the mat that he gave me. Sport GT on the side, and again, the lettering. Now the back has the little round tail lights. Now, if this had the square tail lights like the Ramblers had, it'd blow my mind. But it has these little round ones, and it's got that big V. As a kid, well, that just reminds me of a 60s, 50s era. I don't know why, but that big V adds a little bit of detail to the back of the car. All right, steering wheel, same steering wheel as all the others. There's the front carriage, front of the carriage. It's in awesome condition, and still has both pedals in the car. And I just rolled it over on the side so you could actually see how the wheel is all chewed up, but it's not cracked. It's just a lot of ride time on it, and all of them are like that. All right, so until I find me a Murray flat face like my brother and I had, and when my youngest brother came along, we used to put him in and just push him around the yard. Because when we lived in the one house, we had the asphalt road. When we moved to the other house, we had a long dirt driveway and a grassy yard. The pedal cars didn't do good, or the paddle tractors didn't. And we couldn't get on the road because it was, back in the 70s, it wasn't an extremely busy road, but you had a lot of enough traffic that we would get run over. But that's a cool little car. I did look up, because out of curiosity, I did go online and I saw sales catalogs from, I want to say 83, it might have been 81, that had this same car in it. So the guy must have been like 3, 4, 5 years old when he got it. I'm surprised he let it go. But you know, nowadays people don't hang on to the memories, and then they'll come later and want to get them back, getting their old stuff back. I have family members now, they're in that minimal, what's it called? Minimal living. They want to reduce their carbon footprint and save the environment as they buy new cars, new cell phones that are all made out of plastic. I'm preaching again, but it kills me. Don't fuss at me because it was something I do. When you keep buying a new iPhone every time they come out, we're depleting the world's plastic forests, making all these plastic cars and cell phones. I'm preaching. Anyway, this is a cool little car. It's not going anywhere. I gotta find that mat. I think I could probably buy new mats, but buying a new one, it's going to stand out that it, you know, this is kind of bad for me to say it this way, because you see the fire truck video, the AMF fire truck that is, I got more in the replacement parts in it than I do the deadgum fire truck itself. Even if I wanted to sell it, I was going to take a loss. No way around it. But we got this one here. It's not going anywhere. I'm hanging on to it. Got to find a spot for it. And if I can find that Murray flat face. Oh, and the one I really want is a red colored Marks Wild Rider in good shape. When I find the red ones, they're busted, they're cracked, they don't work anymore, and they want $200 for them. Those were blasts. My brother and I had one of those apiece. I have a picture of mine when I got it for Christmas with my Big Jim camper sitting in it. I'll have to, I think it might be part of I think it's in my Big Jim camper video. I don't know if I think I only have one of those videos. Anyway, gosh, I can't remember. I gotta stop rambling. This video has gone farther than I wanted to go because of my rambling, and it's starting to rain a little bit harder. And I got one more thing to bring up. AMF tractor. Here's a neat little quick story. My brother that had one just like it, I'm down at his house a couple weeks ago, and he's got a building out in the woods full of stuff. And a long time ago, he ends up cleaning out chicken house, not a big one, like an old country farm chicken house that was turned into like storage. He brings out an AMF green tractor, totally different than this, and this part is plastic, and it's got a decal of an engine, and the front steering wheel is frozen in place. But of course I can't get it from him. He won't let me have it. What I would do is I'd try to get that front end unfroze and leave it alone. But wasn't crazy about it being plastic. It's green. I can't remember. I want to say it might have been faded out like a middle tone green or something. If I can say middle tone. I'm not a paint person or a color person. Alright gang, it's starting to rain a little bit harder, so I'm calling it quits. Thanks for viewing and have a great day.